Hi, and welcome to the Community Talks podcast. My name is Emmett Cummins. In today's episode, our hosts Janis and Pandora will be discussing the journey to becoming an alumnus with Lillian Truong, the Student Life Coordinator, and Lucia Green, the Development and Promotions Coordinator from the Douglas College Foundation. Hope you enjoy.
Welcome to Community Talks. We're very happy to welcome Lillian and Lucia. They are the alumni of Douglas and here to share their experiences of passion with you guys. So just starting off, how are you guys doing today? Like coming up?
I'm excited to be here.
Yeah. Honestly, this whole production level and scale that you guys have been able to accomplish today is very, very impressive. And I think that just goes to show, like, Douglas College got some good students.
Thank you. We'll try our best. So starting off, how have you guys been doing since graduating Douglas College?
Yeah, I can start. Well, I actually work with Douglas College since I graduated, which was a great opportunity while I was studying. I got a part-time job with the co-op department.
Oh, nice.
And then after that, I was able to move into a position that it had more marketing involved. So I graduated from Douglas in the post-degree diploma in marketing management. And now my position is coordinator, business development promotions. But I also just got hired with MCO, so the marketing department here at Douglas. And so I'll start, not immediately. I'll be covering a mat leave, so it's going to be in May.
Oh,
but
wow.
Yes, but it's been a great journey just to move around and be able to do what I learned in Douglas College and contribute to Douglas College in my positions.
Mm-hmm. That sounds so inspiring. Yeah. How about you?
I haven't had a chance to congratulate you on the role in person. That's why I was meaning to get a hold of you. So congratulations on your new role in MC. I'm really happy for you. As a background too, Lucia and I used to work together. Lucia was my supervisor in my last role. But yeah, I started off at Douglas College as well as a student. So I did my diploma in marketing management as well, had class with Kimberly Jang for my practicum. So, seeing you guys all here today is just so heartwarming for me. And I'm so happy to be here. So thank you again for inviting me to be a guest. I started off at Douglas College. I did my diploma here. I became pretty involved on campus. And so I did a couple of roles here. I worked with the FSO as a student ambassador in the beginning, then transitioned more from volunteer roles to working as a student assistant. So I worked at the Career Center as a student assistant in the co-op department. And then also on the side, I also did student engagement or student life as a student assistant. I graduated, not from with my degree at Douglas because they didn't have the degree at the time, but when I came back as a post-grad in a pandemic era, it was tough, I'm not going to lie. And so when this position came up, I didn't expect to be in post-secondary. I graduated from marketing. It's a little bit different, but I knew that I had some skills that I could definitely apply to it. And the community here at Douglas College is just so tight-knit and really friendly, and everyone just kind of wants to help you out and stuff like that. So I applied for the business development events kind of a program assistant position, now coordinator position there, and worked there with Lucia, was my supervisor for a year. And it was such a fantastic, fun experience, planning events like the career fair. We do any of the employer networking events that you can see around campus. And then I transitioned to just more recently to now I'm a coordinator at Student Life. So, making a full circle again.
Yes,
and I'm working there overseeing the leadership portfolio. So student leadership awards is some of the things that I work on, research day, things like that. Yeah.
Oh, sounds interesting.
Yeah.
How did you guys come to Douglas in the first place? Stumble upon it? Or how did you guys...
why Douglas? Basically.
Yeah, basically.
Well, I think my story is a little different. I mean, I was a high school grad and I was just kind of looking for a place that, I was definitely the student that was like, I want to look for a place that's like kind of close to home. I didn't want to commute like 3 hours each way to like UBC or something like that. So I chose Douglas College, and I think it was a really good decision for me, especially when you're in high school. You're kind of still like learning a lot of the skills and, you know, how to be an adult. And, you know, so I think Douglas College was a really good like stepping stone for me for sure to build those skills.
Yes.
Well, for me, totally different story. I come from Brazil 7 years ago. So I was choosing, and you have some agencies who help you to choose a college or to choose a program. And I have a background in communications and a major in journalism. And I just wanted something that I could build on my skills. And then the marketing program seemed like a good place to start. Like I could use some of my skills, but also build on some more. And I'm very happy that I chose Douglas College. And like Lillian was saying, the community here, and I, you know, it's not a surprise why I've been working with Douglas for 6 years and now moving, you know, to another position. It's the community for sure. It's what we get. My commute here is 1 hour, but when I think, would I be applying for other places? I might be, but I really love the idea of growing here at Douglas. And so these other things like commute and, you know, another opportunity, they, in comparison to what I get being part of Douglas College family, I think at this point it makes more sense for me to continue to grow here.
Oh, that sounds good. How did you do you have any fond memories? Because we have a lot of memories, right? But which one is the fondest memory that you have when you started Douglas or are still going on it? Anything like that?
I think for myself, I'm always creating memories. But if I'm thinking about, you know, some of my best friends after for the past 7 years, or people that I met during my time studying at Douglas, and also so I'm thinking, you know, the people that I've been in touch with and still am. Another fun fact, Shannon Cox, who is your instructor, I had classes with her, and she was, I remember, so when I got here at Douglas College, at the time, I don't know if this is offered still, but there was an intensive course. So we had to do, me and my classmate, we had to do the introduction to marketing in 15 days.
Wow.
In 15 days.
It's now a semester.
Yes. Well, it is a semester, but I think for
15 days.
I'm not sure why at the time we had to do it. So
Did you play the backpack game?
Yes.
Oh, the backpack game. Everyone loves that.
Backpack game.
Exactly. And Shannon was there. So every time I see her, I remember those first days, you know, 2016, August. It was hot outside, but I remember being the whole day. But, you know, these are the type of memories and the things that I'm fond of.
Oh, yeah. And it's been 7 years, and you guys are, still in touch and everything. That's really nice. Plus, you were, new to, Canada, right? So
totally.
That's, really good. What about you?
I think I can definitely relate to that as well. In the marketing class, I really had a fond time in practicum. I think that was a really good memory where you really get to work with different communities and different employers. And you're kind of wow, everything I learned in class, now I can really apply it and impress some people with it. And, you know, if you can have a really good employer to work with too, I think it's just makes your work just so much more engaging. I remember we did we worked with a company called Ripen, and they I think you might have heard about it before. And they kind of
marketing.
Yeah, they kind of connect students with employers, and that's their whole tech platform and stuff like that. And so working with them was such a delight because it was for an international marketing course, and they wanted to expand into New Zealand and Australia. So our team had just looked about the whole environment and how to do that and come up with all these initiatives and strategies and presented it to them. We got to visit like the headquarters downtown. So it's all those like kind of small little moments like that really kind of make you feel really connected to the community and like just really connected more to what you're learning. So those are some fond memories among other things. Like obviously that was more like academic focus, like on campus. You know, I helped out with like orientation. Edge is our like first year event. That's like so amazingly fun.
Yeah, it's really fun.
Yeah. So any times of like those, I remembered like just always being able to see somebody in Douglas College is very common. Like you know somebody, which is really cool. Like the concourse, I always like to like talk about how great the concourse is. Because after I finished my diploma here, I went to another university where like they didn't have that like central area where like everybody's there. Oh, yeah. And so, like, whenever I would, like, table there as, like, a student assistant or something like that, people would be like, oh, hey, Lillian. Like, it was just really cool to have that kind of interaction with people. You don't feel like you're alone, even though it is a commuter campus. Right? So, and I think that's what really differentiates Douglas College. Is, like, even though we are, like, a commuter campus, we don't have residence life here yet, you can still find those pockets of community wherever you are. Yeah.
Right. I really like the fact that we're like sitting on the stairs and you can like see everyone.
Exactly. You sit in the concourse anywhere and someone will bump into you, or the cafeteria even, or the library. Like there's definitely these common areas you can bump into people. Yeah.
Yeah. And what would you guys say about Douglas College? Like we have a lot of resources here that helped you like truly when you were a student back in like Douglas.
I think, well, the concourse is I would classify it as a resource, just because, yes, you can meet a lot of people and you can get to learn about what's going on in the college. The library, of course, the events, networking with employers. So, you know, taking advantage of everything that the college offers is hard to know what, you know, there's always things happening. The GSU, the Alumni Foundation and Association, they have events and they connect past Douglas students with current students. And it's good to be inspired by other people who may have gone through the same path, you know, just sharing stories. Yeah. So I think, those are the things that I think are valuable.
Say, are we biased to say the Career Center? The Career Center is a really great resource because, I mean, among other things too, student experience, bulletin boards are like a really good resource. just sit in front of one and just like read about everything that's going on in the community, because you will be surprised by like how many different departments and areas are like having things going on, whether that's like, for example, I know there's like a financial literacy event going on that teaches you how to do taxes and stuff like that. A Career Center hosts like various workshops on your resume, your portfolio, your cover letter, like all these really key skills that, you know, are really important to the development of you like holistically, are really important. So I would say like best advice is like get involved as much as you can, because you only have so much time here before you're in the real world. And so like if you can take advantage of like all the resources that are available to you, do it, because you paid for it, you know. Like, honestly, at the end you paid for it. So take advantage of them.
Yeah, and I was like, when I first came here to Douglas as well, I was really surprised about the DSU building. They had a whole separate building. Yeah. That was really good. And you guys have graduated from Douglas. It's been a few years. And how would you say being an alumni have, like, what experiences you have gained and what path are you on currently?
Well, like I said, growing inside the institution has been a whole journey. I think the more I could give back to the Douglas College community is something that I value. So I think being involved, like what Lillian was saying, there are two ways that you can do. When you are studying, there are lots of things that you can get involved. But after you graduate, you can always look for opportunities to reconnect, to learn more stories about other people and what they did. So I'm thinking my journey has been just trying to get the best opportunities I can inside the institution, and share with others.
Mm-hmm. Sounds nice.
Yeah, I mean, I think I kind of take this question in more of like, I really appreciate, Douglas. I've said it like in this podcast of like, it's a tight knit community, but that also means like networking comes a lot easier. Yeah. And I know like networking is like a big term. You're like, oh, okay, what is networking about? And I think it's just about building relationships, and the fact that the culture here is that like everybody just like wants to help you for the most part.
Yeah, that is right.
Like, people are like really helpful here. And so like the more you kind of get to talk to people from different departments and you just express like, hey, I'm a student, I want to do this or do that. Like they are willing to help you out. And I think that extends also when you're alumni. So, when I was looking for a job and I saw this job opportunity pop up, I can't remember who I messaged in the career center, but I must have messaged somebody and be like, hey, can you put in a word for me? Or like, can you tell me more about this position? So yeah, it's just really using your community of people and your network of people and using that to your advantage, because, I would say more times than not, people want to help you out. Especially if it's like you're asking them for advice. People like to feel like they're the smartest person in the world. And they're giving you advice.
It's like having an ex, right? A permanent, cool ex partner, because you can always be connected. You can always, be connected. It's always going to be in your life, right? In a good way.
That's right.
That is nice.
Mm-hmm. And also one thing I noted is that when you're walking around the hallways, everyone seems familiar with everyone. Like
you can see familiar faces like really often. You're like, I know you from somewhere.
Wait a minute. I saw you just now. Yeah. And do you have like any words of wisdom to like people that are graduating this semester maybe?
I think I would tap on what Lillian already said. I mean, if you're graduating and just building your connections. If you had the opportunity to, experience different activities inside the college, meet people, I think, maybe that's a good tip and advice, because you're still in school. So you want to meet people, and it's not a matter of making a good impression, but just meeting and knowing them and connecting with people. Of course, the Career Center is a great resource if you are graduating and you don't know exactly, you don't have a job and you want. And it's a service open to alumni. So for life, even, 20 years from now, you want to do a career change, the Career Center will be open for you. But I would just say, build on the connections. Try to find a familiarity with, the people, your classmates, the people that you see in the hallways that you want. And, just try to connect and you never know who you're going to meet in the future.
Right.
Yeah, no, for sure. I agree with everything that you said. It's really crucial to just meet a lot of people, get exposure, talk to them, have all these experiences in your time here at the college, and make the most out of it. Like, I know that sounds cliche, but I'm talking this from personal experience. You will graduate one day and you will wake up and be like, who am I? I am not, no, I'm no longer 300-562-123. I am no longer this, student number. I'm no I'm no longer, hi, I'm a first year marketing management student, wake up and you have those moments. And so to find yourself more during like your college years, and you do that by like experiencing new things, doing events or going to events, you're able to be more prepared to answer the question, okay, well, what am I going to do with my life now, right? And you're constantly going to be asking yourself that question, but to make the transition a little bit easier, you just need that experience under your belt. So just to be open to things and to experience them. I think another thing too, which is again is like advice I would give to my younger self, is don't feel like the need to rush through your education. I think there's a common pressure to be like, oh, I need to get done in 4 years. I need to get done in 2 years because that's the status quo.
Yeah.
But like there's so many opportunities like co-op, like a field exchange or like a study abroad that will extend your time here at the college. But like, if anything, it's going to leave you in a better, like I think in a better place because you're going to grow so much from it and like be able to experience new things and answer some questions maybe you had in the back of my mind. Like, would I ever want to work abroad? Where would I want to work abroad? Or like, what do I want to do? So like for me, I had so much pressure. I felt like I needed to, you know, graduate by a certain X time. I don't want to add on any more courses. But looking back, I'm like, I wish I had more experiences.
Yeah, enriches you.
Enriches and experiences. Yeah.
It's another year, right?
Yeah, it's another year. Exactly. You know, you have the rest of your life to work. It's like one of the things I definitely took away. So.
I would say another thing, and sorry to cut you off. I've read a book recently, and this sentence kept coming back to me, and it says, follow your curiosity. So if you're curious about something, you know, maybe it's you like this doing the podcast and that sparkled something, you know what, I like doing, and just follow it. Because you, like Lillian was saying, the time you have here is so precious. So you can link things, and the world is changing. The future of work is changing. At the moment, as we speak, things are changing. So if you can tap on the things that you're really curious about, you have transferable skills. So you could use all your experience, all your baggage, you're carrying it with you. So if there's something out there that you think, oh, I want to think twice, or I want to read, I want to know more about this, it might be the answer. And I have air quotes because it might lead you to something very interesting that you have never imagined because you didn't follow your curiosity.
Yeah. And that would be a shame.
Very inspiring. Yeah. Basically, the journey that you guys went through as students and towards becoming alumni, it evolves around community, a sense of community, a sense of belonging, something experiential, and all in all, it's a very positive experience.
Yeah, 100%.
Right?
Yeah. And, you know, you have these conversations with people that you meet here that will totally throw off the trajectory of what you thought you were going to be doing. And the more exposure you have to that, the more you're like, oh, wow, maybe I don't want to do this. Maybe I want to do this instead. Or like, I wouldn't have known this if I didn't talk to you about this. So again, it's like kind of going off what you said, like follow your curiosity and be open is like, a really big thing.
Exactly. I mean, like these years, we won't be getting them back. So just do it, you know, just don't think about it. Just do it.
Yeah.
And what would you say that would be an important skill when it comes to being an alumni, going out into the work field? I know it's hard. I know it's like frightening. Well, especially for us because we'll be graduating soon, right? But if you have like any tips?
I think try to find what you know, what are your strong points, your strengths, right? Better said. I don't think there's one skill that you need.
Exactly.
Because we're all unique. So I might be good with, I don't know, writing. And I can elaborate on that, you know, I can build on that. So maybe it's like finding your skill, one skill that you're comfortable with and trying to see what you can build into that. So, you know, instead of thinking of the things you don't have, oh, I need to improve this and that, or, you know what, I'm really good with socializing. I'm the person who organizes, you know, the Friday hangouts with my friends. So how can I use that in favor myself in employment or to meet new people? I think right now, you know, we all have the ability to connect, you know, and you don't have to be a great speaker or anything. So, yeah, I would just say just find something that you are comfortable with, your own skills, and try to build on that.
Yeah, that's great. I completely agree with you with that. Like, definitely figure out your skills and your strengths and play to your strengths. And I think that kind of goes along with a lot of like, you need kind of some introspectiveness before you graduate. Yeah. I know it's like a really like crazy semester and you're just probably focused on the one project, but like it will hit you before you know it, and you will wake up one day and be like, I just submitted my final project will ever do. And I think for me, I have definitely learned the importance of career values and what personally those values rank for you. So, for example, if your value is money or is like commute time or, feeling like you have meaningful work, rank those. Yeah. How high is money? Is it higher than like your commute time to work, or does your commute time to work trump that? Because there's a lot of people out there that will do something or do a job for the money and they will regret it because they're like, it's actually not that high of a value for me, and other things will trump it. And like, maybe that's work-life balance, right? And I think that's something that you kind of have to kind of, go through and play around with and experiment with. But if you can find the time to sit down and figure out what at the end of the day gives you energy and gives you motivation to show up to work, that's really important. And that's the way to kind of create like a sustainable, healthy work relationship, which is like, I think, a really hot topic, especially coming out of the pandemic. And,
that's right.
People working from home, they don't know how to like divide, now I'm going to like relax and rest. And, mental health is such a big thing as well that we cannot ignore. So yeah, it's really important, I think. And I think to have that time and that space, and, go to the career center to help figure out some of these career values of yours before you kind of just go diving right into like, I need to be in a marketing job because I studied marketing. Think more about like yourself first before you do that.
Yeah, be kind, right? To yourself and listen to yourself and stop and reflect, I just studied in the past 2-4 years. It was the go. Now I have, take the time to do something, to observe things differently, just give yourself, a pat on the back. You did really well. And now the world is out there for you to conquer, but you don't have to do it in the next 15 days.
Yeah. Right? Like, don't feel like you have to fit into a box is another thing, right? I think marketing is kind of cool because like there's just so much play area with it. You can go to research, you can go to sales, you can go to digital marketing. There's so many things. But, again, even though there's so many different areas of marketing, doesn't mean you have to stay in marketing. I didn't stay in marketing. But there are some transfer skills that I definitely got from my degree and my diploma that I'm grateful for. And I think I apply to that in my day-to-day life. So, yeah.
That's good. Like, I mean, like, looking at what you said, nothing is set in stone. So just explore everything, everywhere, I guess, right?
Yeah.
And what would you guys say about after graduating, giving back to the community, to others, to other people in general?
I think a good thing is sharing your experience. So doing something like this, it's, for me, it's like, when I got the email, the invitation, I'm like, yes, I want to do it. We thought it was one person. And I said, well, Lillian was the first one to reply to the email, so she can go. And then she said, no, you come, you have to come. I'm like, okay, because these are the things that, I think it's great to be among young people and be able to inspire or to tell my story. I think there are different ways that you can give back. You can volunteer with the college, or you can just share your story, or you can just do a very good LinkedIn post and you tag Douglas College. You can do it from your in front of the computer, sitting at home. So there are lots of ways. The one that maybe fits you the best will be the best way for you.
Yeah, no, 100% agree with you on that. It's basically what you're talking about. Like, you can give back your time is a way to donate time. You can donate money too. There's another option that you can definitely do that, because I know the Alumni has some like scholarship or grant funds that help out the students here at Douglas College. I've definitely also personally even applied for one of these grants. So, if you have the means to do so, do that, because it is a community here. And I think to leverage it and to take advantage of it is just keep coming back and, connecting with each other.
Yeah.
Or you can open a business and then you can come back for the practicum and help the students. I mean, you can employ students. Yes. You can take co-ops or business internship students, or you can just, partner with projects like this. Yeah. So we can always give back.
Right. Very insightful and very well-rounded. It sounds like, I mean, coming from being part of the initial community as a student, and then by navigating through your career and hitting the next milestone, it's really nice that you are able to like share these things with us, because at the moment, like most of us in our grad year would be on that anxious, excited mode to just get out and, be out there. But then hearing you guys talk about your experiences kind of like makes us appreciate, like, hey, we better like take a step back and like
it's the conversations that change the trajectory of how you think. That's what I'm saying.
It's very nice and insightful. So it's kind of refreshing to like hear these things from you. Right?
Honestly, 100%. And I can totally relate to when you're a student, you're like, your tunnel vision is the graduation day. And, I'm no longer going to be a full-time student working like a part-time job and doing all this type of stuff. I can finally just focus on what I want to focus. But, it is really a fun and valuable time in your life that tend to take for granted. I'm not going to lie. Yeah. So.
Especially the sharing that you said about I would say that's like knowing your personal values, like, what is most important at this point. Because for us, it's like just graduating.
And it is really important. I think a lot of people skip over these things, and I meet people like in various stages of their life, and they're contemplating, like, did I make the right career choice? Did I go into something that I want to do, or am I stuck in this job because there's a really good pension plan here now and I can't get out of it, like stuff like that. And it's going to be different too, because I've been reading a lot about like how our generation is the workforce of Gen Z versus millennials versus Gen X and boomers. We all want like different things in our job, in our career. Also, the amount of time that you're staying at your job and career is very different as well. So the workforce is different from what our parents experience. And so like the pressures and influences that you might hear from other people, just know like it might not or probably won't apply to you. Because
that's true.
The workforce is always
it's the values that you were saying, right? We all have our own personal values. So if you try to fit what your parents or what your friends expect of you, it might not be right. So go deep to yourself.
And your job is such a critical part of who you are and what your well-being is. Because it's like the people you see at work are sometimes the people you see more than your friends or your family.
5 days a week.
5 days a week. It's your second home, right? So you got to really enjoy where you work. And that's what I've learned. I know some people kind of approach work in a way of like, work is work. Work is just to pay the bills and get food on my table. But, you can approach it that way, but you can also approach it from a way more like fulfilling perspective as well, which is kind of the approach I like to take in life because you only got one life. I don't know. Not to get philosophical. Yeah.
That is nice. That is really insightful for us, right, Pandora?
That's right. I mean, after talking with you guys, because like I'll be graduating soon, even though I'm like only 20 and I'm scared. But, like I'm in marketing as well. So I've been looking at jobs like everyone else, you know what I mean? Like graduating soon, right? But when I take a step back, I just like got afraid and was like, oh, well, I like the job that I'm going to have. And after talking with you guys, I just like had a realization like, nothing is really that set in stone. Pandora, settle down. Don't get like too worked up, I guess. So I'm just like having a moment here.
Yeah, we're not trying to create existential crises.
I was gonna say that it goes. It's like triggering like existential crisis mode.
Tiny. But okay, so we have this signature question over here. So, yep, that's right.
I'm nervous now.
So why do you think that people give back to the community? Is it for like selfish reason or selfless reasons? And why is that?
I think it depends. Like, again, let's go back to the values. So it will be different for everyone. I think giving back is also a way for you to look back into your own journey, right? So giving back gives you the opportunity, to meet new people, but also to look back, okay, what I've done, and now I can offer this, my time, my money, my experience. So yeah, I don't know if I answer your question.
It's a tricky question. Yeah. I mean, I would say like you could approach the question in different ways where like maybe you are a selfish person when you decide to volunteer. You're like, I just want this on my resume, or like, I just want to put this on my LinkedIn. And you go there and you volunteer, but then you realize, hey, I'm actually having like a really good time here, or like I actually want to stick around longer, or I'm like meeting a lot of cool people, and actually I kind of want to come back and do this again. So it could transform into a selfless act for sure. But I'll be honest, like when I was in student and I was I was a marketing student, I was definitely doing this for selfish reasons. Like when you're a student and you're just so like time is so precious for you, and you're like, okay, do I volunteer or do I work? Type of thing, or do I study? You're kind of looking at it in a way of like, what can I get out of it? Beyond just like giving back to the community. But I think when you're there though, you really get to see, wow, like I'm a part of something bigger, and I'm happy to be here actually. And, I would be glad to come back and donate more of my time to do this. Yeah.
Right. Because as a student, you're everywhere, work, school, everywhere.
There's a lot of
kind of like a survival mode.
Yeah, constantly. So it's like kind of like, do I do this and like gain something, or do I do this and gain nothing? Yeah, I get that. All right. And so this wraps up our little session. Thank you so much for joining us and like sharing your insights.
Yeah.
Gave me a little like moment of, but it's good.
Kind of shifted the perspective, right?
I mean, I think it's fitting because it's like you guys' practicum and stuff like that. So I'm really glad that, you could do this and have this opportunity. And so thankful that you guys invited us out here, honestly. Yeah. It's been such a pleasure. Like, this has been really fun. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. We're actually very grateful that you shared all these insights, and it's quite inspiring, to be honest. Like,
so good. We're happy to be.
Yeah, it's kind of impactful for like, especially like most of us are like in the team. We're graduating soon, so yeah.
Sure, and if you guys ever want to like connect, let me know.
For sure. Thank you so much for having us. I had a great time, and I'm glad that some of our words inspired you guys.
Greatly.
Yeah, for sure. 100%, right?
And all right, this wraps up. Thank you so much.
Yep.
Thanks for listening to Community Talks. This episode was produced by Team Synergy. If you'd like to learn more about the Douglas College Foundation alumni support and how you can join, visit the Douglas College website and check out the alumni page. Links and more information will be in the show notes below. If you liked this episode, please consider dropping a like and sharing with friends. See you in the next one. I've been your host, Emmett Cummins.